5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hi, Tribe. I'm Versavia, and you're listening to Community Conversations, the place on Objectively Typed where we get to know you, our community, a bit better. Today, I have Jonathan Knott, or Jono, as your friends call
Jono.
you.
Yeah, call me
Jono.
Jono. It's easier.
Awesome. Jono, what's your type?
My type is, in a nutshell, ENFP, but in more detailed OP terms, it is audio, MF, NEFI, consume, sleep, play, blast.
Consume, sleep, play, blast. Yeah, you've been so I tried picking up the series like back in the spring, and then, like a typical Demon Blast play, I totally didn't do anything with it. But you and I
Yeah.
have been talking for like 6 months about doing this thing,
Yep.
and I'm glad that we're finally getting around to it.
Yeah, typical low blast. Just talk about it and never do it, right?
Yeah, I think that's especially me. You were always you were actually really lovely and always down like, yeah, let's do it. I'm just like, yeah, one of these days I'll
Yeah.
get around to it. I swear.
I I really love the idea. I think it's a very NF idea, like the whole community vibes and like, peace and love and all that kind of stuff.
Nice. Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess I never thought of it that way, but yeah, I could definitely see that.
Yeah, it's
Um,
great.
so I think just to kind of kick things off, one question that I try to ask everybody is, what drew you to OPS? Like, why OPS? Why not
Yeah.
MBTI or Enneagram? Why our community?
Cool. So I actually started off in MBTI. I was introduced to like the 16 personalities website by a relative. I thought it was
I
awesome
think
because
we've
like,
all been there at one point.
yeah, it's basically the staple MBTI go to. But yeah, I just jumped into that. I did the quiz and I came out as an INFJ. Um,
Oh, really?
yeah, I kind of at
Okay.
first I was like, oh yeah, it's cool. And then like for some reason it came up again in a conversation with someone and I did the test again. It came out INFJ a second time. I'm like, okay, so this is interesting.
How did that hit for you?
Um, I don't know, like I think I resonated with it for reasons of I think that the MBTI community is a very biased kind of community, or it's a kind of the way it's presented is like you do a test, you get this result, and it's like, oh wow, it just makes you feel good about yourself. It kind of, the INFJ is like treated as like, the 1% of the population, and you kind of feel really special, and you're like, oh wow, this is why I'm so different, and like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
this explains everything type thing. Um, so yeah, I just kind of jumped into that, and then I just started getting obsessed with MBTI, and I was like just consuming like all this information about it, trying to learn more and more and more and more. I got into cognitive functions, and then I started like looking into Carl Jung and some of his teachings and his books.
Okay.
Uh, and then it got to a point after like a year or two of like, there's no more new information. I'm getting bored. I need
I
something
need
new.
some new concepts.
Yeah, so actually, I went onto Reddit in one of the MBTI groups. I'm like,
You
hey, can you
know,
help me find new stuff?
I wish Ops was more on Reddit, like, because I really love Reddit. I'm a total geek that way, but Ops and Reddit for some reason are like oil and water.
Yeah, Reddit's great. I don't know. I think OPS needs a bit more time, like
That's true.
in the community, for it to get more popular in Reddit. But
Anyway, you were
um,
saying?
yeah, so yeah, I got jumped onto Reddit. I was just like talking to people on there, saying, where can I find more info? Someone shared a link to Dave's channel, and
Okay.
I remember I was like, wow, this guy, he knows what he's talking about. Like, he's like, it's a real like
This
blast
was
kind of.
like after they revamped with Ops or like his old school content?
Okay, so I actually found it about the same time as he did the revamp.
Oh, okay,
Someone
cool.
posted a link, and I happened to find it around the same time as he did the new channel intro.
Okay, so you've been
And
following this for like since the beginning. That's coming up
yeah,
on 2 years.
yeah, pretty much.
Wow. Okay, cool.
Um, and yeah, like, so he kind of really seemed like an authority in the space because he was very like, just like a real
He
blast
speaks with
teaching.
authority.
Yes, he's speaking with authority. And he was just tearing MBTI to shreds, and I was like, this is actually awesome. Like, he's talking about all the flaws, about how MBTI gurus are all just basically rinsing and repeating the same information. It's all just like copy paste. All these blogs about MBTI is all just people copying and pasting each other, and there's no real like info here. And the way that Dave and Shan are doing it is they're systemizing, they're taking MBTI and have systemized it and changed it in a different way to then be able to bring out more info and a little bit more like objective data. And I was like, I love this. This is awesome. So I just would like watch his videos every week. And then,
Yeah, there was a point when I just like I so looked forward to Monday, Wednesday, Fridays because I'd have just that little bit of like 5-minute content to consume from them.
yes. And it was just, it's like, they knew what they were doing, a nice short and
Yes.
sweet video, just straight to the point, great data, and then done.
Yep.
So yeah, I just continued watching them. And then after a few months, I decided to join the class. And then I just literally, I think I was like 4 months after they started, or 4 or 5 months. And I spent like 2 weeks just watching every video in their platform. I needed more info, needed more.
I did the exact same thing when I finally joined the class. I'm like, oh, look at all this wonderful new stuff to consume.
Exactly. Love the new stuff.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. And I just like got in there, dove straight in, learned everything I could. And then did a typing video, came back as ENFP, which was a huge shock for me because I was still convinced I was an INFJ at the time.
Okay.
And I was just further, like, even though I was learning OP, I was further like validating my type as an INFJ because I'm like, yeah, I'm an INFJ. Maybe I'm sleep first INFJ. Maybe I'm an NITI INFJ because I'm very introverted. And then Dave says, nah, you actually have FI. I'm like, whoa, really? It was hard to swallow at first. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah. What was that process like?
I remember like he actually sent an email with the typing results, and I was looking through the doc and I saw all these other people that were typed as my type, like Weird Al Yankovic, Red Foo, a few other comedians, and I was like, oh, what? This is like, I'm not like these guys, am I? Like, I actually hated it at first. I was like the
Oh.
masculine FI. I'm like, no, this is not me. And I just kept processing it. Like I actually went back and forth with Dave with some questions, and he kind of helped me like kind of triangulate a bit more. And after like a week, I was like, yeah, okay, makes sense, cool.
A week.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean that totally makes sense, but I love that it like a week, it all of that processing, and it was like a week, and now okay, it's fine.
well, like that whole process just further like validated my type because I was just consuming, and then just sleeping on it and just
Process it.
thinking,
Yes.
processing. I'm like, okay, done now.
Yep.
I figured it
Yep.
out.
Yep. Yep. Yeah,
it
that's
was,
how
it
I
was
felt as well.
just all savior energy.
Yep.
So
Um, so once you got your type and knowing, so I was chatting with the double feminine NITEs that we have in the group. Have a
yeah,
round table with them. I was just chatting
quite a
with
few of
them.
them are here.
Yes, there's 6 altogether.
Cool bunch of people.
Very much so. One of them said, and I loved how this was articulated, that your type is a diagnosis, essentially. So it's not necessarily like this badge of honor. It's this is what's wrong with you. Now go get to work, kind of
Yes.
thing.
This is what's wrong with you, being the key right there.
Yeah. So how has that been like, with Demon Play and Demon Blast? Because I see you working on those things. Like I see it in the group. And I think you have a wonderful blast for Blast Last. And also you're
Thank
the
you.
one who's on the Blast Last group. You're the one
Yeah.
who's like prompting all of the creating an opportunity for people to practice their blasts. And that's fantastic.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah. So I guess once I don't know, before OP, and the reason why I got into MBTI and stuff, because I just had this desire to just want to change. I wanted to like improve myself. I guess that's a growth minded kind of
Yeah.
mentality.
Yeah.
And OPS really, really, really like lays out like a diagnosis, like you said, and also kind of like a blueprint, like action plan to improve
Yeah.
without
Yeah.
giving you detailed steps, but you can kind of work out what you need to do, right, in
Yep.
your day to day to improve. So from that, I was just like, you know what, I should start a channel. I should start a group for people with Blast Last because, we all have something in common, and that's, we kind of suck sharing information, getting started, abandoning projects, all that kind of stuff. It took me a while to do it because I was like, yeah, should I do it? Should I not? I was oversleeping it. And then I just, all right, I'm going to do it. Created a group. And then I kind of created a formula for like posting a live video in the group like once a week. So what I do is every week I'll put in like a topic or a theme, and then I'll ask like 4 or 5 basic questions around that topic. This is a post, and then this is every Thursday. It's called Type Talk Thursday. So we put the post out, and then everyone just does a live video in the group and talks about it, answers the questions, 3 or 4 minutes, just to help improve, I guess, their confidence in speaking. And for me, like, since joining OP and having to submit a video talking to a camera, like at first I was like super nervous, but now it's like, it's nothing. I love it
You
now.
kind of get used to it. Yes, yeah, you kind of get used to it, and it's kind of like, oh yeah, this is a new thing.
Yeah.
Like I was looking at my videos, like in preparing for this one, I was looking at some other interviews that I did, and even like 6 months ago, I was significantly more nervous about these things in a way that
Yeah.
right now I feel a lot more comfortable.
Yeah. It's all about confidence, I think. Just, doing your demons here and there, getting used to them, and just realizing, oh, they're not so scary. You can kind of
Yeah.
use them every now and then.
So, okay, I would challenge that assertion, and I'm
Okay.
curious to hear what you think.
Sure.
I kind of see it, at least in my own behavior. I don't see it so much as confidence in my demons as much as, okay, now I have been through this process enough times that I can sleep on it and I know what to expect. Therefore, I can go into that blast play energy a little more easily. And it doesn't feel as scary as it does when I don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
Even as an EP.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a fear, right?
Yeah.
Like a fear of, doing the demons play and blast. And it's funny you mentioned that, because I put a post in the Blast Last channel just last Thursday about, fear of blasting. And yeah, it's kind of like, I think based on what you said, it's kind of like the more you do it, the more you realize it's not as
It's
scary.
not as scary as you think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just like you
Like
have this
as Dave
fear of
says,
it.
your fears aren't real.
Exactly. So just trying to keep that in my head, your fears aren't real, as I'm blasting, it kind of just helps. You know what I mean? It's
It
like,
does. Yeah.
like a weight off your shoulder or something.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at some of the questions that I have.
Sure.
So your type, actually, like you mentioned Weird Al, but we also have quite a few ENFPs in the group, and there are,
Yes.
I think you have exact type twins, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who's your exact type twin?
I know 4.
4.
Well,
Oh wow.
including myself. So there is fuck, I've forgotten their names.
Okay, I won't put you on the stop.
I know
Spot.
JP.
Okay.
He's in the group. Baz, he's also in the group. Another guy, Dave. Is it Dave? No, it's not David. It's
and what's his name? Oh my god, I forgot his name.
Lindsay's.
Oh, Lindsay's husband.
Lindsay's husband, yeah.
Yep.
And Peter Bond. He was in the group in the beginning, but he's left now. He's doing philosophy stuff. So that's 5.
Wait, there's I forgot his name. Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Kevin?
Yes, thank you, Kevin.
He's type, very similar to mine. His play and sleep are switched. So he's consume play. I'm consume sleep.
Oh, okay.
So we're like almost identical.
Close. So what has that been like in terms of especially seeing yourself more objectively when you have somebody who is your exact type twin?
Oh, that's a good question. So I've actually had chats with most of them, like just one-on-one, just to, I guess, explore our type a bit more. And what I've found is like we literally we seem to think exactly the same way. We have the same struggles almost. And even like some of the things we're into.
Is there anything you would feel comfortable like giving us an example of a struggle you guys all share?
I'm
like sensory. I'm like, give me sensory.
Yeah. No, just let me unpack that.
Yeah. Think about it.
So, okay, I got one. Probably like in communication. So like in relationships, especially in relationships, like kind of realizing that, holy shit, like we don't communicate like a lot of the things we feel or we've been through, or a lot of the things that have happened in our day. Some of those are, a lot worse than others, like especially the feeling part. Like a lot of the times we'll go through events, or like, something will happen in the day, we'll process it, we'll be done with it, but then we won't really communicate it to like our partners. It's like we're like not filling them in like with events that have happened in our day, not because we don't want to, sometimes because we just forget. Like it's
Hmm.
like, gosh, that thing happened. I'm like, yeah, I've already like emotionally dealt with it internally because of
Right.
like that
So there's no need
sleep.
to take it to,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's no news to like to talk about with the tribe. Although, you know, sometimes we do have to, but and because I'm more aware of it now, I try to make more of an effort to actually communicate, you know, how I'm feeling and like how certain things trigger me and stuff like that. But yeah,
There's
it's communication. Communication is it.
there's a channel called Charisma on Command. Have you heard of it?
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So he had a video recently where I think he's talking about romantic relationships, and one of the bits of advice that he gave in it, that I think the only thing that I heard in there that was new, um, because my brain's always looking for new, is
Yep.
he called it show your emotional work. Kind of like when you're doing, when you're in school and you're learning math, your teachers are always like, show your work. Like, how did you arrive at this answer? Because how you arrived is more important than the answer you get. So like, show your emotional work. Like, so say somebody, like your partner, wants to come visit you or like throw you a surprise or something like that, and you say no, but like if you show your emotional work for how you arrived on that answer, then they can be
Mm,
like, oh, okay, they appreciate that I want to do this for
yes,
them, but they don't want to because of this reason or something like that. If you show your emotional work, then it's easier to have that emotional connection rather than just this like, nope.
that's great. That's great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
like
was.
I've something I've kind of realized the hard way. It's like, you know, you want to, especially being blast last, you know, when you want to give an answer to something, and especially if it's a results in a negative answer to them. Normally, if I just give a short answer of no, I don't feel like it,
Hmm.
even though there's like 1,000 reasons in my mind why.
Yeah.
If I just explain those reasons, the other person will be more receptive to it and understand. Is that kind of what you meant by?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
So that's something that has been a lesson you've had to learn rather than
Yeah.
something that comes intuitively.
Yeah, I think just more from, you know, understanding OP and understanding what, you know, blast last means.
Mm,
Um, just having to like not being afraid to share my reasons, I guess. Demon
yeah,
reasoning.
yeah.
Just share them, even though like I fear that they're not good enough sometimes. It's like, oh, these reasons are stupid. I'm just gonna say no. It's like a
Oh,
fear of
okay.
how the tribe will respond to
To
the
those
reasons that I
reasons.
have. Yeah.
Oh, that's
And
interesting. Okay.
if there's pushback and they're trying to challenge me on those reasons, I just like, I don't know how to support myself. If that makes sense.
Right, because at the end of the day, those reasons are movable, and you're trying to
Yes.
be soft and movable with the tribe. But at the end of the
Yeah,
day, your FI is like, no, I don't want to do this.
exactly.
Um,
That's a great way to put it.
did you type Tiger Woods? Have you been typing along with the classes?
I haven't really been
Okay.
very constant with that.
Because so Tiger Woods is a audio SIFI, so in some ways similar, and he's also Blast Last, so in some
Okay.
ways similar to your type.
Yeah.
Um, but so a lot of the class came back with him as FE, or not FE, TI, but on the FETI axis, and I saw very much the masculine FI from him because of what you just described in terms of like he will just say no, but he won't share the reasons afterwards.
Mm,
He'll be just like, no, I'm not going to do that, and like it'll be a press conference, some people will be like, and why? But
yeah.
he's like, nope, done,
That pressure.
kind of thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I think
Totally get it.
I never thought of it, and I love that you brought that perspective of it, like being afraid of the tribe invalidating your reasons, it sounds like.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
because those reasons are malleable, you're not pushing on them, whereas like me with masculinity, I will push on those reasons.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That makes more sense. And you're helping me understand it a lot better as well. It's like, you know, if I'm not confident in my reasons, then why should I think that other people will be?
Mm,
That's the mindset I have. So it's about like trying to fix that mindset about, okay, yes, I'm not confident with my reasons, but I'm not going to let my fear stop me from sharing them,
okay,
type thing.
that's awesome. I love
Yeah.
I love that state of mind.
I
Um,
mean, I need to work at it, but that's what I need to get
well, I
to.
mean, it's the first step, right? You got to start somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So what other like aspects of meeting people of your same type that has been useful, or like something that Dave and Shannon often say is that like when we see our own type, we are embarrassed. Is
Yeah.
that something that you've experienced?
Yes.
Yeah.
The demon planning part and like the real like flakiness, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like trying to organize some things, trying to organize like catch ups, even trying to organize like doing videos with them. I notice from their perspective and my perspective, we're not really as like committal. Like we'll just go, yeah, let's do it. Like let's catch up like in next week or something. We don't put solid plans in place. Like let's try next week. Next week I'll
Right. You want
message
to
you.
keep it open and vague, and like
Yeah.
I
See how
bet
we're
you.
feeling.
Yes, yes. I bet you are one of the people, and I'm saying this because I am, who like when plans get canceled last minute, you're like, oh, okay.
Yes.
It's like, oh, I don't have to go out and blast play. I'm
Yeah,
okay with that.
I have 1,000 other things that I could do
Yeah.
that I'd rather do. I don't know. Sometimes
Sometimes,
like
yeah.
sometimes I'm like annoyed because I really want like my FI really want to
Wanted
do.
the thing.
Yeah. But then at the same time, I'm like, okay, I'll just, spend 2 minutes and I'll find 1,000 things that I could do otherwise.
So shifting gears a little bit, what do you think about uh well, this is kind of a two-parter, but what do you think about ops in terms of so there's the system itself
Hmm.
and like your understanding of it and the validity of it and the science of it, and then also the other part of this is how Dave and Shannon are at the class and going about teaching it, and what are the things that we as a community can do to aid in that process.
Nice.
So
Okay.
first, maybe let's start with the system itself. What do
The
you think of
system.
it? Mhm.
I think the system is great, especially for someone who has SINTE. It's something that works for people. It's not too complex, although some people have said it's very complicated. Um, I I don't think it is. I guess because I've consumed the shit out of it and I understand it. Um, I like how simple it is. I like that it's very structured in terms of this is
When
our
you say that it's
process.
simple, what are you referring to?
Okay, cool. Yeah, you need some more sensory on that.
Well, I think like simple for one person is not going to be simple for another,
Yeah. Okay.
because like you said, some people have called it unnecessarily complicated. So,
Yeah.
like trying to better understand where that difference is.
Yeah. I guess like now that I'm thinking about it, probably it depends on the person too, right?
Hmm.
Like I guess because I have TE, maybe it seems very logical. Like it's a kind of um, they've laid it out in a very like almost ST way. Like they've got
Hmm.
a very simple website. They've got like the layout is very easy. It's just very black and white. Um, they've got a they've got a detailed process on how they type. So it's like one, um, watch the videos. Two, go through checklists and narrow down what they're thinking.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Um, and then three, output into a type. And they also step three is actually compare with the operator. Is it the
Hmm.
same? Four, this is your type. So it's like they have a step-by-step process. It's kind of like a machine, and the video comes in, blah, 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 gets typed, spits out into an OP type. I like the systemized approach to that, and I like that even though it's not scientific, they are using a scientific method
Hmm.
to output these results.
They're at least trying to get at some objectivity.
Yes, yeah, that's it. They're trying to make it objective, and that's the most important part of typology is that there's no objectivity really in any like typology system,
Existing
MBTI,
systems.
and
Yeah.
yeah, and that's what I love about it. They're actually trying to make it factual.
Do you think given the I know this is something that a lot of people question, but do you think it is objective, or do you think there's a lot of biases that are in the system that they're not accounting for?
Yeah. Look, I'm sure there's a lot of biases, but from my perspective and what I understand about them is they seem to have gone on a very, very deep journey in life. They've they have they've studied military training. They've studied all of um, these processes, I guess, to eliminate their biases. And I know I know a lot of people say, they've got a lot of biases and people have biases. I think they've gone to a huge effort to be able to remove as much of their biases as possible. So,
Yeah,
and
that's
because I understand their journey and I understand what they've been through, the training, and even the amount of time they spent working the
I
system
know.
before
They
making
were
it
like
public.
gone for almost a decade.
Yeah,
Just
like that's a
disappeared.
long time. That's a
It
really long
is.
time.
It is. I
And
mean, we've only been learning the system for what, a year and a half?
yeah,
We know nothing.
exactly. And given that, like understanding all of that history,
Hmm.
I feel that it is quite objective or quite, what was the word you used again? Quite scientific.
Yeah, objective, I guess, the opposite of that being biased. So
Yeah.
like
So,
lacking in
okay.
bias.
Yeah. So I think that they've gone to lengths to remove their biases as much as
Hmm.
possible.
Or acknowledge them and somehow, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I agree. I think that they've done a. I think when you look at the numbers, like statistically speaking, what are the chances of two individual operators arriving at the same type out of 512?
Yeah.
90% of the time, say like they type 10 people and they get it 9 of those people the same type. Those
Yeah.
numbers are so small,
I know.
so small. Like there's a better chance of you picking the same person out of everybody in the world. You and me picking the same person out of every 8 billion people we have on the earth.
Exactly.
So,
And I guess like the data is going to speak for itself. Like, you know,
yeah,
the longer they do this, the more results they get, the more like similarities they're going to see, the more clustering they're going to get in the data. And that is going to, I guess, prove that their system has some
merit.
validity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with you there. So I know I asked you earlier if you've been typing along with the class, and you said not so much. So
Yeah.
maybe you don't have very strong opinions on this, but if you do have any thoughts or opinions that you want to share.
Sure. Um, I mean, no, I haven't. I kind of stepped out of the class for a bit.
Hmm.
Um, I
It's
still,
not quite as new anymore.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, for myself, I like of the past like 2-3 months, the people they type, I watched maybe 1 or 2 classes.
Yeah, so I have a friend that's in the class and we kind of share an account. So I stopped paying just because like I was trying to get my life sorted. I was like trying to end all the subscriptions that I had built up over the past few years,
I
draining all
should
my
do that.
cash.
Yeah, I should do
Yeah.
that.
And I emailed Dave and Shannon. I said, "Hey guys, like you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for this journey. Um, I'm gonna quit for a bit because I need to just sort out my finances and sort out my life. I need to sort out my priorities." And their response was amazing. They were just like, "Man, you know you've done so well. This is exactly what we've hoped for out of people from the system. Just go and destroy life." So I was like, "Thank you. That's awesome." So
They're really good people.
they're so good,
They're
and that's another reason why I think like their system is great because they're actually genuine and they do care about people.
they do. They definitely
Which
do.
yeah, which is I kind of get a bit angry when people are like throwing the system under the bus and like pointing the fingers at them and stuff in the group. It
Well,
gets me angry, but
yeah, and I think this is us like I guess double deciding. But uh I think it's important to not just take everything at face value as it comes in, but that also doesn't mean that you throw out the baby with the bathwater either.
yeah,
Like
that's a good
it's
point.
that there's like there are some things that they're doing fantastically well, and I think we should absolutely give them the credit um that is due, and there are some things that could be improved, and they are slowly but
Definitely,
surely improving them. Like it's
yeah,
not that they just totally have blinders on and they're just like, no, this is what's happening, it's never going to change. They're not
yeah.
doing that either.
Yeah,
They
it's
just
like it's like any business or system. Like there's so many things that need to change, and there's so many things that they could be doing better. But it's just I guess a matter of time. They've got to
yeah.
work their priorities and slowly build and make
And
it.
they are improving. Like their Q&As compared to what their Q&As used to be like when it was just like
Yeah,
Dave going through emails and like reading and answering and stuff, and the
yeah.
Q&As that they have now, like this week's in particular, I think were, excuse me, quite good.
Okay, I might check it out then. Yeah, the Q and A's are really like I actually don't really watch the typing classes as much. I prefer more the Q and A's
Oh, yeah.
because that's where all the new information comes out. Kind
So
of like you got your questions. People are asking questions and they have to respond.
yeah.
And
So what's something that like that's ops related that uh is a new concept you picked up like recently that was very like huh for you, like something that
I
really hit.
yeah, good question. I think more the modalities of the animals. So it's something I've been kind of thinking about for a while and trying to understand. Not as much as I'd like, but the fact that for me, like my play energy is double feminine and my
Oh,
sleep
that's
energy
right.
is double masculine.
It is.
And I've just trying to like I'm trying to understand what that looks like in the real life, in the real world.
Okay.
Um, and from what I see, because play is a demon and it's double feminine, I feel like I'm almost like afraid of the environment because it's like unpredictable. Like I don't know how it's going to react or respond. And my mind, my double masculine sleep really wants like certainty. It wants to be in control. It wants to be. So I'm like fighting this control chaos between my mind and the environment.
That's
Um,
interesting.
I'm still trying to understand it.
Yeah.
Like what it actually means. Like I want to understand like who a double masculine play versus double feminine sleep. I want to see like the contrast with them.
That's me.
Yeah,
So
I
I'm
thought
on the
so.
other side
Yeah,
of that. Yeah, yeah,
nice.
yeah. And that's also something that like uh I've been thinking a lot about the modalities, and um I'm kind of adjusting. Like for a while now I've been like asserting that I think the modalities and our stacking are the most important things. And I'm kind of recently started adjusting that to not the most important things, but the most important things for they are the biggest contributors to how much we resonate with something. So
Yeah,
like like for example, I was talking to Monica Gill the other day, and so she is a visual TENE, and like
she's
on the
cool.
surface, we don't really have too much in common, right? I'm
Yeah,
SEFI, but she's got double masculine extroverted world and double feminine introverted world. So her
mm,
SIFI is double feminine, right?
yeah,
And we were talking about that and a lot of similarities there because of that, like how movable the internal world feels compared to how masculine the external world feels. So there's a lot
yeah,
of like, oh, I understand that. I resonate with that, which is important for feeling connected to other people.
yeah, definitely.
But I think Dave and Shannon ultimately are right in that for real growth, real sustained growth, we need to look at our human needs and
Yeah, okay.
kind of handle our freakouts around our human needs. Cause I still like, I think I have fairly good handle on my demons, but I still freak out when I feel the tribe controlling me. I
Yeah,
still just like when I have my freakouts, they're either afraid of tribe hate or afraid of the tribe controlling me.
yeah, yeah. It's kind of same for me. It's yeah, but more so for me, it's more just like ignoring. So I guess my missing human need or missing blast is ST related. So anything that's
Right.
ST in life, like bills, money, planning things, organizing like birthdays, getting presents for people, like all that kind of, yeah. I have to like really like push myself into like getting shit done into like to the point of like I've got to like I just use a calendar app and I put like anything that I need to do, I slot into the calendar and I like every morning I try to review my calendar and make sure I'm actually doing things.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if I don't, I know it's going to result in like bad tribe chaos. If I don't get presents for people or if I don't pull my weight in organizing like something with my friends who are
So
always
you
doing
said
organizing.
tribe chaos. So
Okay.
that's more play. That's something that you also have fear around.
More, yeah, I guess more about upsetting like the tribe, like friends or something, groups of
Oh, okay.
friends.
Okay.
Yeah. Or like for example, like my girlfriend, because she's similar to Monica Gill, except she's an ENTJ, so she's TESE
Okay.
play, missing. I think she's got the same animals as well, and she's also visual. Um, so
So
and because
like
she's
so Shannon's type but different animals. So
yeah,
she's play
basically
blast.
yes, play
Okay.
blast, play blast consume, play blast sleep consume.
Play blast sleep
Um,
consume. Okay.
Yeah, so she's really good at organizing, right? She's always planning things. She's making sure that things around the house are done. She's making sure that finances are under control. And sometimes, like if I don't make an effort to like help with those things, it's like it's almost as if like I'm not pulling my weight in the relationship or something, or I'm not actually helping. So I need to kind of like kick my ass into gear and help more with planning or more with like housework or more with chores and those types of
It's
things.
the SI repetitive sensory tasks that are the most
Yes.
mind numbing.
Yeah. So like I've got a whiteboard and it says like I take the bins out on Wednesdays and Sundays, vacuum the house Monday morning. Like I've just I
Do
really
you actually follow it?
um I try to. Like
That's
I'll get better at it.
like
It's just
50% of the time. I mean, even if it's 50% of the time, I
yeah,
still think that's already
at
like
least
I
it's
would
at least
really
50.
struggle with that.
It's at least 50%. And I feel like it's a win if I can do the tasks before she's like, "Hey, you haven't done your tasks." If I can do it before she reminds me, then it's
Wait, so
like then
she
it's a
lives with
win.
you there? She doesn't live in the Netherlands?
No, yeah, she's living in Australia with me at the moment. She's been here
Ah,
for a year. Yeah.
oh, that's awesome. Cool. I
She's
didn't
on
know that.
holidays. She's on, well, not really a holiday. She's doing a tour guiding thing around Australia. She's taking a group of Dutch people around Australia because she works in tourism. Um,
What do
at
you
the moment,
do?
yeah. What do I do?
Yeah.
I work in IT. So
Oh, that's right. I knew that.
I work for a managed services provider. It's kind of like customer support, really, customer service in IT. So we provide like IT infrastructure support, desktop servers, all that kind of stuff, and we basically just support it. So I'm a team leader for the service desk.
Okay.
So
Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
my team are always answering calls and helping customers
Yeah.
with their
Yeah.
requests.
I've seen your people before.
Yeah,
Been the one like, "Hey, my computer's not doing this thing. Can you help?"
I like it. I really enjoy it actually.
Yeah?
I love dealing with like customers, especially when they're angry. I love angry customers.
What is it? I actually do too, but what is it that you love about angry customers?
So I think it's like the excitement of like the chaos. It's like everyone's freaking out. Like, oh my gosh, this person's caught up. My team are getting stressed. I'm like, dude, just like don't let it affect you, man. Just let's. Anyway, it's like a challenge for me. Like, like my challenge is to like I want to calm them down. I want them to feel
Yes, it's fun.
like, yeah,
So I have this. Oh man, when I was in high school and some college, I worked at Dunkin' Donuts when I was a
oh,
teenager,
cool.
and I had this one one customer come through, and it was a day that like there was only three of us working in the whole store. We were all spread really thin. We had like a line in the drive-through that was like around the building. It was all really busy,
Oh wow.
and so somebody comes up, they we send them to the front, like to the other window to wait for their sandwiches. I finally like takes me forever to make their sandwiches. I give them their food and they drive off. Then a few minutes later, this woman comes in. She's just like this big black lady, probably masculine probably double masculine, like like really tall lady as well. And she just comes in. She's like, "Who made my sandwich?" I'm just like, "Oh shit." Like
Damn,
I'm so fucked. And I'm just
that's
like, oh my God,
crazy.
what's wrong? What can I do? Like, I'm happy to remake it for you. She's like, this is the best damn sandwich I've ever had. I was just like, oh thank God.
That is awesome. Nice.
But yeah, there is something like maybe it's the double decider in us, but also like IFE by trying to access each person's FI. And I
Hmm.
wonder if that's how you FE as well. And there's something in customer service, there's something for me satisfying about like identifying what it is that this particular person FI wants and
Yes.
finding a way to TE give it to them.
Yes. That's like I've never thought about this, but the way you're describing it makes perfect sense.
It's fun. It's like a fun, like,
Yeah.
as long as I'm not freaking out about something at the time.
Yeah. I mean, it just at the end of the day, like the one example for us is like a few weeks ago, there was one customer, she was being very irrational, very like double masculine, like, why are you guys doing this? I expect better service. This is taking too long. Blah 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 blah. Like, to be fair, like um her agreement with our company is like, we have to service them within 4 hours. It was like 20 minutes. So the logic says, we don't have to respond to your request straight away.
Right.
But she was like just throwing her arms out. I need this fixed now. Fix it. It's blah blah blah. And that stresses my team out because they're like, yeah, what do I do? I don't know what to do. So I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna listen to you. I'm trying to just like hear what you're trying to say, get past all your irrational like
Yeah.
requests. Like,
Right.
what's
All
your
the
outcome here?
demandingness.
Yeah. What's their outcome here? What's the impact? Like, what is actually affected?
Hmm.
What are you struggling with today? Trying to actually understand what they're, because a lot of people will like, they'll call up angry. They're annoyed because they
Yeah.
can't get their shit done. But a lot of the time we don't understand what the impact is. So like they may have all their computers in their office may not work, and they may just come saying, "Oh, nothing's working." Blah, 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 blah. So I guess it's all about trying to understand what the impact is, so then we can understand why they're feeling the way they're feeling, and then yeah, like you said, we can then give them a T like plan. Okay, this is what I'm going to do to resolve it. So it's fun.
So hearing that, like in some ways, and I think this is one of the ways, like, because my brain is constantly trying to type people, or if I know someone's type, it's running that type against the behavior that I'm seeing. So just even in your language, what you were saying is like, I have all the potential whys, but I need the what, the SI what, in order to ground it.
Exactly.
And I can actually go about solving the problem.
Yeah, I need the what. Then exactly.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Yeah. Whereas for me, my brain is, doing the opposite. The what comes easily. I need the why. Like, okay, why isn't it working? And that's where my brain gets a little like stuck, but also wakes up and pings because it's fun to figure that out.
Okay, that's interesting. We'd probably be good at solving problems together.
We should figure out, well, what problems do we have? Well, actually, so sort of related, but maybe not quite. So what would you like to see in our community?
Ooh.
Like, what are the things that you love about our community, and what would you like something we aren't doing yet that you think would be fun to add?
Okay, that's good. So I actually wrote some stuff down about this a while ago when you first came the idea, because I was so passionate about it.
6 months ago.
Saturday, the 2nd of March, 2019.
March. Yep, that sounds about right. Yeah.
So yeah, 6 months ago. Nice. So in regards to community, I'll tell you what I like about like the OPS community, and which I think why it needs to get out there, why people need to jump on it, and why like it's better in my opinion than other typing platforms.
Mm-hmm.
It's that like, so you mentioned this before, it's like with OPS, it's bringing people together, obviously have an interest in typology, but it also, when people are typed, they're displaying their types. It's kind of like putting their like heart out. Like they're saying like, okay, this is who I am. Here's
the manual for how to run me, but also break me.
Exactly. And this is how I suck. Look at everyone's like, putting this on display. Look how shit I am. This is how I suck. And
that's so true.
People are like, exactly. Like people are just like, like really receptive to it. People are vulnerable. So like they're very trusting as well. So it's like, it's creating this community of trust.
Such a good point. That is such an excellent point. Yeah, you're right.
And it's almost like the OP groups we have are almost like therapy groups, because everyone is talking about their problems. Everyone is helping each other, and everyone is growing. Like that's what I love about this stuff. Because it's like, there's no, okay, you get the occasional assholes that come into the group and just like wreck shit and hammer. But the majority of people are actually all really genuine. They're all like growth minded. They all have the same like vision and goal. And that's like what just like manifests this amazing like culture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and that's like you jump into any other Facebook group that relates to other typology systems, and it's just full of dickheads. Like everyone's just like hammering each other.
Honor. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like everyone has all this pride and stuff. Everyone's like, I'm this type, you're wrong.
I think actually in you saying this, I'm realizing that. So one thing that what definitely happens in our community is when somebody gets their type and they think that they've been typed wrong, right? And that happens fairly frequently. And I try to keep an open mind with it and approach it with compassion. But if I'm honest, I don't think I'm being nearly as compassionate or open-minded about it as I want to be, I guess.
Yeah.
And I think one of the reasons, and it was in you articulating this that I realized this, it reminds me of the Myers-Briggs communities in the sense that like, the reason I'm in OPS is because of the objectivity part of it. Whereas in Myers-Briggs, I can assert that I'm an INTJ and nobody can, I mean, you can disagree with me, sure, but we're just going to keep arguing until we're blue in the face, right? Yeah. So I think when somebody comes in and Dave and Shannon are like, we think you're this type, and they're like, no, you're wrong, you're welcome to have that opinion. But unless there is something outside of you something objective that can
Mm,
confirm that,
yeah,
um, then we're just going to be arguing until we're both blue in the face the way that we do in Myers-Briggs communities.
exactly. It's like the Myers-Briggs communities really like inflates people's egos more. Whereas in OPS, you come in with an inflated ego and you're going to get torn to shreds almost.
But like, yes, but
Because
torn to shreds with love.
yeah,
Like
exactly. It's
it,
like
yeah,
masculine FE. It's like, no, you're wrong, but I still love you.
yeah,
You're
yeah, yeah,
still
yeah.
you're still an awesome person, but this is what I'm seeing. That's the other thing. Like everyone's just super honest with each other because it's just so it's all just TE. Like it's
Yeah,
yeah, I don't
very true. Yeah. Um, is there anything that you would like to see in our community that you're not seeing?
yeah, that's a good one. I've kind of been a little bit disconnected a little bit from Facebook in general. I'm just trying to like actively not look at Facebook as much because it's,
I can
can
understand.
consume addiction. It takes away my time. I don't get stuff done. But um, to be honest, there's not a lot that I could say like to improve it. Like I already think it's really, really good. I just want to see how it evolves. Like there's a number of groups already. Like there's at least 10
Hmm.
side groups that have popped out.
Yeah.
And
I mean, there's
one,
enough content being happening that Laura put together a doc just for all the content.
wow, I need to check that out.
Oh, it's fantastic. She's been doing such wonderful SITE work. I really, really
Yeah.
appreciate it. But yeah, there's the doc that's like and really well organized too. It's like, okay, here's all the YouTube channels that are related to our community. Here's all of
Wow.
this other stuff. Oh, here's this like these other one-offs. Like it's wonderful. I'll
That's
make sure to
awesome.
include that in the show notes, guys, in case you want to check it out.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, in terms of making things better, like I'm already seeing people like building upon the groups, like especially the class members group, Austin, and there's a few other people in there.
Yeah.
Shout out to them who are just really like systemizing the shit out of it.
In
Like
a
they're
wonderful
always,
kind of way. Yeah.
yeah,
It's
it's
like
great.
we finally have like a little study group of geeks. Like we're all doing our homework together, you know?
Yeah, it's
Whereas
cool.
before we weren't. It
Exactly.
is.
Yeah, and like I think Sarah as well. She's posting stuff about Q&A discussions, like taking a
Yes, every
screenshot of that.
Thursday. Hmm.
That is awesome. Like just things like that are really, really cool. And the other thing, this is going back to why I love OPS in the community, is like I've made so many friends this last year. It's like insane. Like you, like all these other people from America, people like in the
Our little stoner
Netherlands.
Zoom chat.
Yeah, exactly. We're all like coming together over like all these other things unrelated to OP, but still somehow nerding out about OP at the same time.
Right. And I think that's because we all have that growth mindset, which is
Yeah.
really lovely. But I guess there's also maybe a hunger for it in our own personal lives, which is why we're
Yes.
connecting with internet strangers over it.
Exactly. And I think, that at the end of the day, like at the end of like life, that's what's important. You're just connecting with other people to help you grow and just enjoy company, really.
Yeah. I just realized that most of our conversation has been FI, FI, FI. Oh yeah, FI.
It's true, huh?
Yeah. This is such a values conversation.
It is. It is so is.
I love it.
It's
Okay.
awesome. Yeah.
So kind of a last question before we start wrapping up.
Sure.
Um is there anything that you like wish people knew about you, or that a question that you wish somebody would ask you that just never seems to come up, or something that you wish our community would know about you?
Hmm.
This is an opportunity to let your DI shine with no shame.
That's a good question. Um,
Yeah, I didn't really give
something
you a lot
about
of time to
me.
prepare or
That's
sleep
fine.
on it.
Something about me. I don't know. Like, I guess, like as an FI person, there's a lot of things that I like and value. Um, I like music. I'm a drummer. I don't know. Not many people know
Oh,
that about me.
no,
Yeah, I
I
play
didn't.
well, I haven't played for a long time. I identified as a rock star like for like 10 years of my life. I
You
was
got the
trying
hair
to.
for it. No.
Well, I had super long hair before. It was like down to like my shoulder. I'll show you a photo.
Yes, I'm gonna
I'll
need a
show you a photo.
photo of that.
I should
Uh,
post it. I'll post it in the group
I'm gonna
just for a
include it
laugh.
in this video.
Okay, do it. Um, yeah. So like, for like 10 years of my life, I was in a band and we're really trying to actually like, make it big and like trying to like, this is what we want to do for the rest of our lives. We want to make money this way. And then as we got older, people started getting more mature, having babies, having kids, getting married. And we kind of like we stopped.
So yeah,
So I haven't been active in playing music, but it's something I really, really, really want to get back into in the next few years.
we
And I
should get
haven't
an
actually,
ops band going.
there's a few people that play. I know quite a few
There's
actually.
actually the interview I did with double feminine INTJs, more than
Yes.
half of them were musicians. And I think
Yeah.
all of them played a musical instrument at one point. And I was really
Yeah.
surprised by that.
I think Josh, he told me he plays guitar, I think. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, there's a lot of people that play.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone that sings though. No one's actually like come forward as a singer yet.
Hmm.
But that would be cool. Make an OPS band.
Yeah, you guys should do it. That'd be so much fun. I had no
Yeah.
idea what, like, I'm sure you could figure out the logistics for
Yeah,
it. But anyway,
exactly. Oh,
that's
another thing
cool.
about me.
Hmm.
So I'm moving. I think I've told you this, but I'm
Yeah, I
moving
know this.
to the Netherlands
I
next year.
know. I'm excited for
April.
you.
Yeah, I'm super keen.
Where
For
in
many
the
reasons.
Netherlands are you guys going to be?
Uh,
Amsterdam?
Close to Amsterdam. We're not sure exactly yet. Like
Okay.
her family lives about 20 minutes south uh, west from Amsterdam. So we're probably going to live there for a few months, and then we'll like probably then look for somewhere a bit south, maybe more on the west coast, north,
Mhm.
east, yeah, west, west coast. Um, yeah, somewhere on the west coast, I guess.
Cool.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. Like,
Have
I'm
you lived
really over.
anywhere outside of Australia before?
No, I've been in Sydney my whole life, and I'm sick of it. It's so
I I
chaotic, man.
would I would
So
love
much,
Sydney.
so much
Not would,
traffic.
I did.
Oh yeah, you were there, right?
Yeah, I really liked Sydney.
It's look, I'm going to say this. It's great. It's a great city. It's a great country, but living in it your whole life, I'm just like, I'm over it.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
it's
I
just
don't
too
blame you.
busy. Too
I
much
don't
city
blame you.
life. I want some more peace.
Yeah?
I need some more NF.
Just
It's
an
too
NF.
ST.
Just
It's too much ST.
Really? Is there?
Yeah, well, especially, yeah, like in the last 10 years, like the growth of this city is insane. Like there's so many people here. There's apartment blocks going up everywhere. It's
Mm,
like the city started like right in the center. Like when I say city, I mean like density of like buildings and housing
mm-hmm.
and apartments. And it's just growing to the points where like where I live, where I grew up was a very quiet neighborhood. Now it's like busy. It's like there's so many apartments, there's houses everywhere, there's new train lines going in.
Yeah.
It's
A
growing
lot
too
of
fast.
a lot of growth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm finding that in a lot of the world, there's tremendous urbanization happening. A lot of people are leaving the more quiet
Mhm.
rural areas and they're moving to the urban areas, which I gotta say I'm a little surprised by because working remotely is becoming more and more accessible regardless of what kind of
Yes,
work
so
you're
much.
doing. So
Yeah.
you'd think that it would be kind of the opposite, that people would be leaving the urban areas and going out more into the rural ones, but they're
Yeah.
not. I wonder if it's
Yeah.
just a byproduct of how lonely we all feel.
I think so. This is a deep convo. We could go a lot further into this.
Yeah.
But like I'll say one thing though, it's like you said about the urbanization and people moving around and stuff. It's like in the future we're all kind of like molding into just like one nation, like
Yeah.
one culture, one currency, one it's
Yeah,
all
I
gonna
think
just
that's
be very
inevitable.
yeah, like we're gonna lose like cultures, we're gonna lose like all this kind of stuff because everyone's spreading out and diversifying not really diversifying, but unifying.
Yeah, yeah. Do you know the show The Expanse? Have you heard of it?
I've seen it pop up in Netflix. I haven't actually like given it any attention though.
It's a fantastic show. It's set a couple hundred years in the future, and we have colonized our solar system. And
Ooh,
essentially, it's Earth and Mars are the two superpowers. And so it's interesting because it's in the presence of an other that we become unified. So Earth became unified when there was a Mars to unify against, so to
right.
speak. So it's Earth, Mars,
Okay.
and there's also like the working classes out in the belt. It's a
Okay.
fantastic show. Highly recommend it, especially if you like sci-fi.
Damn. I do like sci-fi.
It's
I'll add it
it's a
to my
good one.
list. I'll add it to my list of 1,000 shows that are on my list.
Okay.
Save your gather. I just gather shit and I don't like. watch it or
do
do anything.
anything. Yeah, no, I'm so with you on that. I
Yeah.
get it. Okay, so to close up, I decided, I'm gonna do a little Lewis House action. I'm gonna not exactly three truths, but what would you like to say to our community if you could say something to everyone in our community?
I would say that the people in there are fucking amazing. And I think that more people should probably spend time doing stuff like this, talking one on one, doing more interviews, just connecting with each other, doing meetups in person, and really just trying to grow like this solid, like connection, like this solid base of,
Yeah,
and because this will actually help, objective personnel in your future. Like, just create a real strong tribe of people who
I
are all
love
like
that.
open, who are all like just growth minded and just want to help each other.
I love that. I love that. That is fantastic. Is there anything, any of your own personal content that you would like to promote? Anything like that? I know you have a
Um,
channel, I think.
I have a channel.
If you
So
don't want to,
no, it's fine. I started it. I was like, yeah, I'm getting really excited. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I created a channel intro video, and I'm like, this is too much to do. I can't commit to this. But
that's exactly what happened with this series 6 months ago.
I did a backflip and like stopped. But now I'm doing a front flip. So I'm starting another channel with a group of other OP type guys,
Okay.
um, with Otim, Leon, and Assis. So we're all the intuitive dominance. So
You guys are all
INTJ,
asleep. Wait,
yeah, we
Aziz
are,
is NETI?
yeah,
Okay, yeah, you guys are all
consume sleep,
asleep.
yeah.
Yeah.
So he's ENTP, INTJ, INFJ, and ENFP. So we're all
I
like
think
the,
Leon's the only one with Blast among you four.
yeah, he
Oh,
is.
that is going to be an interesting channel.
So yeah, we're doing like a show. It's called what's it called, the Nine Show. Wait, the Nine. We literally just came up with this the other day.
Okay,
Nine, as in
cool.
being like NINE, nine.
Oh, cool.
The Nine Show.
Oh,
Um,
because you guys are all intuitives.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, we
I
started
love
that.
it.
There's going to be a video. I'm probably going to upload it today, the first
So
video.
is this like more for entertainment purposes and less for like consuming content?
It's a bit of
That's
both.
okay.
So like, being like NE and NI, it's random. There's no there's no proper structure. Although we will try, like we're going to take like one topic each week and like revolve our discussions around that one topic. It'll
Oh,
go on
okay.
tangents, it'll be random, but there will at least be some like factual
Something to
information in there.
kick things off.
Yeah, so we are respective of like all the temperaments. We want to make sure people are getting ST, SF, NT, NF, and that
That's
it's not
awesome.
too much blast rambling. Um, yeah, and they're going to be short videos, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes each. So
Awesome. Cool.
yeah,
Well, when you guys launch, send over a link and I'll make sure to include it.
I will. I'll do it. I'll do it after this. I actually need to upload the video, but yeah, I'll do it soon.
Have you guys launched or not yet?
Not properly. Like we've recorded one video, which I'm going to upload today, and I think we'll launch it today as well.
Okay. I will make sure to include that in the show notes. Anything else you want to say before we close up?
No, I think I'm good.
Well, thank you so much. This has
No
been a lot of
worries.
fun. I'm
It
glad I
was
got to
great.
know you a little bit better. I'm
Yeah, it was
really
great.
bummed I missed you in Sydney.
Yeah, the timing was so bad. I was in New
Yeah.
Zealand.
Yeah,
Would have
we
been
missed
awesome
each
to hang
other
out.
just by like a couple of days, but that's okay.
Yeah,
Next time.
it's all good. Yeah,
I loved
100%.
Sydney enough that I really hope I'll be back sometime.
Look, I'll be in America for sure in the next
Oh,
few
you
years, at
better.
least more
You
than once.
absolutely
Yeah,
better.
I will.
California, come. I have a
Hell
guest room
yeah.
with your name on it.
There's a few people in California I need to catch up with. So
Absolutely.
awesome. Thank you
Awesome.
so much. Really
Well,
appreciate it.
thank you. And thank you for listening. If you have any questions, thoughts, love to hear from it. Some of this was really discussion based. Love some input from you guys. You can comment down below and I see you soon. That was so
Nice.
awkward. And scene.